Hi, how's everybody doing? So good to see you all here. I'm live both on Instagram and Facebook for this first day of Kwanzaa. I've got some things to tell you all. My little journey to getting here this year. Wasn't sure it was going to happen, but thank you for all of you who have been texting me and Instagramming me and direct messaging me and saying, hey, you doing Kwanzaa this year? And so, yes, I am. Here I am. And I will be doing something all 7 days. A little different configuration than last year, but I'm here. And I thank you all for your support and your kind words. It's good to see you all here. For those who don't know me, who may just be clicking in from somewhere, I'm Dr. Francine Broadus Oputa. If you know me for a long time, you know that Broadus is important to me. That's my extended family, my daddy's people. We're the Broaduses, a wonderful, wonderful family. Over 700 of us, offspring of Zach and Maddie Broadus. And I've taken to using my birth name along with my married name, Oputa, which I was able to get my African name from my husband, Reverend Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwu H. Oputa, who is from Nigeria. And I am a California girl, born and raised in California, in Pacoima, in the San Fernando Valley, and transplanted here to the Central Valley of California, and am happy to be a part of this community. And for those of you who know me, who may not know, a year ago, I retired. So I am relishing in the ease and the work of retirement. If you know me, you know a lot of my work is around performing. So I'm a storyteller, an actress. So if you're interested in me in that kind of work, let me know. I am also a consultant for individuals, businesses, organizations around diversity, equity, and inclusion and social justice. Keep a lookout on my Instagram and Facebook pages because in February I will launch my new website, which will make it much easier for people to connect with me. But you can always direct message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you all who are joining me. So happy to see you. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see who's out there, but I do see April. April Jackson sent me a message. You doing Kwanzaa Live this year? Yeah, girl, here I am. Here I am. Thank you. So let me start with this. I'm going to say something, and you type in the message, the chat, the proper response. You ready? You know what I'm about to do. Habari Gani! Let's see what you type into the chat. What you got for me? Habari Gani, what's the news? What's happening? What's going on? What you know good? All those things that we say in African American culture, because you know Kwanzaa is African American culture. It's an African American holiday. And that's so important to emphasize. Oftentimes people assume or presume that because of the African aspects of Kwanzaa, that it is an African holiday. But no, it's an African American holiday. And I see I'm going to throw my glasses on real quick. There we go, Umoja. Who is the first person? Hey, KK! Kwana, one of my students, I miss you. I miss you. A great student. She worked with me, a great worker. Anybody looking to hire somebody good? Kwana Williams is good. She's smart. And has a lot of initiative and drive. Yes. So she was the first one, I think, to put Umoja up there. Good job, good job. She's also one of the leaders, student leaders at Fresno State. Yes, indeed. Thank you for all the hearts I see coming up. Yeah, yeah. So yes, Umoja. That is the principle of the first day of Kwanzaa. As you know, there are 7 principles. And what better way to start but with Umoja, unity, right? Unity. I will say that I did a lot of detail last year in talking about Kwanzaa, and my brilliant daughter, Adaficha, suggested, no, actually it was my other brilliant daughter, Wachuku, who suggested that maybe to send people to some of the things I did last year. So if you look on Instagram at Dr._Francine, you'll see in the highlights I put most of last year's Kwanzaa videos. I went live every day of Kwanzaa last year. And so you'll see more information if you want more details. Because one of the things I'm going to do this year, as I said, I'm a storyteller, I love to tell stories, is I'm going to read some children's books on Kwanzaa. I do want to give appreciation to Dr. Karenga, who is the founder of Kwanzaa. He is still the head of Pan-African Studies at Long Beach State, California State University, Long Beach. And this is his official book. And if you're interested really in doing Kwanzaa, I really recommend you get his official book, because everybody doesn't get it right. There are some things that are specific to Kwanzaa, and people make assumptions based on what they hear rather than really going to the source. And he also has the official Kwanzaa website. And it will say the official Kwanzaa website. And these are the 2 sources I really recommend you have as your base for doing Kwanzaa. It's his book. He's got a new edition out. It doesn't look like this. I've had this one for many years. But I would really recommend that. So I'd like to pay honor and respect to him. And one of the things, I'll put this a little closer so you can see what he looks like. You know what they say, that black don't crack, so he pretty much still looks like this. And I do want to say that as we are seeing so much these years, that these days, there are some concerns about some of the things that went down with the US organization and Dr. Karenga and others. And those concerns are to be taken seriously. At the same time, I think I said this last year, how do we not throw the baby out with the bathwater? And so Kwanzaa is still a holiday that I honor and respect and celebrate. Okay? The other thing that I want to do in this moment, I do thank my daughter, Adaficha, who informed me of a major loss today, a major loss. If you're not aware, we lost Bishop Desmond Tutu today. And Kwanzaa is so much of Kwanzaa is about honoring our elders, paying homage to our ancestors. And so I do want to take a moment and just honor Bishop Tutu. Adaficha told me she had had the opportunity to hear him speak around the Obama inauguration, which she attended. And my dearly departed elder brother, Apostle William T. Broadus, met Desmond Tutu, has a great picture with him. And so let's just take a moment and just reflect on Bishop Tutu and the many others that we've lost this year. I'm sure there are those of you on this call who've lost loved ones. And my heart goes out to you. So let's just take a deep breath moment. my spiritual text, which is the Holy Bible, says, to whom much is given, much is required. It also says to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. Time to be born and a time to die. So we know that this is part of life. But I did want to take just a moment to honor Bishop Tutu. I want to thank you all again for being here. I am going to read what I think is my first Kwanzaa book I ever bought. There was a meme. I'm a part of a women's book club. And somebody posted a meme that said, what did it say? Well, hold on. What do we want? Books. When do we want them? Now. Where are we going to put them? We don't know. That's me. I've been purging in my house and got rid of so many books and still don't have all the books on bookshelves. And I have big bookshelves. So I have a lot of books. I have a lot of Kwanzaa books, but I think this is the first one. I have to share this also. I hope you all don't mind me just musing a bit here. When I was thinking about the books I have and the Kwanzaa books, I have a lot of children's books. I gave a lot away, but it's hard for me to let go of them. It's hard for me to let go of books. But I realized that children's books, particularly the Kwanzaa books, are kind of like me and dolls. I bought my children so many dolls growing up. Black dolls, beautiful dolls, cute dolls, baby dolls. And at one point I finally realized, oh, I'm really buying these books for me? Because they didn't have black dolls in the range that they do these days. And so I realized, okay, they don't really need any more dolls. You can stop now. Because I really realized they were for me, not for them so much. So I think it's the same with the books, particularly the Kwanzaa books. But I thought I would read this one. It actually is my favorite, and you'll see why. It's so cute. It's a pop-up book. So I'm going to read this, and that's what I'm going to be doing every day of Kwanzaa for this year. I'm going to be reading a Kwanzaa children's book. I'm going live today. I will either post or go live every day by around 5 o'clock. I got close today to 5, but around 5 o'clock. Most days it'll be a post, but particularly I'm very sure the last day will be a live. And I will be reading a children's Kwanzaa story among all the other things that I do, okay? So let's get started with this one. It's called A Kwanzaa Celebration Pop-Up Book. How cute is that? How cute. Kwanzaa means first fruits of the harvest. On the first day, we celebrate Umoja, or unity. Our family, friends, and neighbors gather to celebrate Kwanzaa. Joining together makes us strong. And that is, you'll see what that is in a moment. We each sip from the unity cup called Kikombe cha Umoja. Kikombe cha Umoja. That means unity cup. We do this to honor our ancestors. And that is, he's drinking from the unity cup. Well, we know these days we will not all be sipping from the same unity cup. And so what we do is we take the unity cup and we pour from it into smaller containers. And then everybody is still sipping from the same unity cup, only not putting our lips on the same cup. These pandemic days, y'all. And so, of course, and I'll do this later, As you see, I have my Kanara here on my table, and the candle in the middle is the unity candle. The second day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia means self-determination. Our special history gives us confidence to decide what is important to us. We decide who we are and who we will be. And you know, it's a little more than that. We just decide how we dress, how we talk, which is why I could go, hey girl, how we walk. We get to decide all that, not let someone else in our society tell us what is and what isn't good, right? We light 2 of the Mishuma Saba, that's the 7 candles. You'll hear the word Saba a lot. Saba means 7. 7 candles in the Kanara. The candles remind us of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So now we've heard 2 principles, Umoja and Kujichagulia. Whenever I do Kwanzaa, I tell people I love saying Kujichagulia, self-determination. Yes. And know that that's a little different from being determined, right? Self-determination. We get to determine what is important to us, what is beautiful to us, right? The third day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate Ujima, or collective work and responsibility. Working together and helping one another makes life better for all of us. Everyone brings something good to eat for our feast, like mazel or fruits and vegetables. Farmers in Africa celebrated a bountiful harvest the same way. You know, I did a Kwanzaa celebration online for Fresno State a while back, and I asked the question, how many people had similar celebrations in their culture, and it was amazing. From Latin cultures, from Mexico, from Southeast Asian cultures, so many people were like, oh my gosh, that's very similar to what we do, our celebrating the harvest. Yes? You know, Maya Angelou has a poem called Human Family. And in that poem, she says, we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. The fourth day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate Ujamaa, or cooperative economics. All year long, we buy our food right in our own neighborhood. Yes, you see all the fruits, etc. You know, so important that we patronize in our own communities, that we patronize our brothers and sisters. You know, I tell everybody all the time about Kakis. Yes? You haven't been to Kakis and gotten their chicken wings? They're delicious. Lemon pepper is my best. They know me. They say, oh, Dr. Apooh, the lemon pepper wings? Like, you know it. You know it. I always think about Tower Blends. It's a very healthy restaurant in the Tower District. I think about the Art of Anger, our sister Melissa Knight, a wonderful establishment. If you are looking at dealing with anger, with grief, I was in New York once, and my daughters and I were dealing with some heavy grief, and we went to a rage room. We were like, when it was over. So check her out, The Art of Anger. The Art of Anger. That's Sister Melissa Knight. Let's see. Yes, cooperative economics. The fifth day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate Nia. Nia. Nia means purpose. It stands for our hopes and dreams for the future. Corn, called muhindi, is placed on the Kwanzaa table, one ear for each child. I'm going to stand up in a while and you'll see my full Kwanzaa table. I do have 4 ears of corn. I have 3 daughters that I gave birth to, but that extra ear of corn is particularly for the generations to come. But also in my case, and some of you are out there on this call, I have women who are my daughter, sister, friends, right? And that extra corn stands for you, Eileen Priscilla. Yes? Yes. The corn symbolizes our parents' wish for us to grow up strong and happy. How cute is that? You see it? See the corn? The 6th day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate Kuumba. Kuumba. There's 2 U's in the middle of that. Kuumba. And hence the pronunciation Kuumba. Kuumba means creativity. We find ways to make our homes and world more beautiful. We create a handmade mkeka. That's the mat. That's what they've created here. In our Saturday Cultural School, when we were in person, my bestie, Della Garrett Armstrong, would work with the children to create handmade mkeka, handmade mats. You can see here, hopefully, that there's a mat right here that is the foundation of your Kwanzaa table. And your kanara sits on the mkeka. We create a handmade mkeka or placemat to set all the other Kwanzaa symbols upon. The 7th day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate Imani. How many of you know somebody named Imani? Hi, Sheila Cannon. I see you say self-determination is your favorite. That's one of my childhood friends. Oh, so good to see you there. Yes. Imani, or faith. Faith. We believe many good things await us in the future, and we give thanks for all we have now. Each child receives zawadi, or gifts. These are for promises kept during the year. And how cute is this? You open up the little box and look what's in there. How cute is that? And I want to tell you something, even demonstrated in the gift in this zawadi, in this box. And I'm going to ask my handsome helper, would you give me that on the second shelf? It's important that the zawadi, they're very specific. So again, reading Dr. Karenga's book, going to the official Kwanzaa website will help you to really understand the principles of Kwanzaa. Thank you. This is a good example of a zawadi. It's a doll that's been taken and put into African attire. So there's a bit of it that's homemade. So the zawadi are not like Xboxes or even bicycles or skateboards or video games or iPhones. They are to be gifts of significance, books, games about, particularly about folks of Black African heritage, homemade gifts, handed down family legacies, family treasures. One of my dear friends, and forgive me, Jackie Bullock is her birth name. She has since married. I don't quite remember her married name. And when my firstborn, many of you know her as Cece Olisa, when she was born, she gave her a doll, a handmade doll that one of her aunts had made, right? And that we treasure still in our family today. Those are the kinds of gifts. Those are the zawadi. So remember that, and help your children understand that it is about broadening their minds, about teaching them the culture, about helping them understand their family history and their family legacy. Hi, Miss Sybil. Sybil Bradshaw is watching. She, oh my gosh, is one of the elders in my church that my daddy founded. Hey, Sybil. And she was actually my dad's secretary at the church for many years. Beautiful woman and a beautiful family. Yes. And peace be with you, sis. Y'all have to forgive me for just going off the trail every now and then. Let me see. Did I read everything on this page? I did. Finally, we have a karamu, a big feast followed by music and dancing. Surrounding us are reminders of our African American history and culture. We all celebrate the joy of being together. The joy of being together, which I'm celebrating right now with all of you who have joined me on this call. So happy you're here. I am going to light the unity candle, which is the first candle of Kwanzaa. Let's step aside, and I have just begun my Kwanzaa table. I will be adding to it as the days go on. One of the things that is a part of the Kwanzaa table is pictures of our ancestors. So, Miss Sybil, I have a picture here of my mother and my father. Those of you who know me know I love my mama and daddy. They were a wonderful role models. I tell people that as I got older and began really reading the Holy Bible for myself, things that I thought were just part of what our family does and our family values and our family culture, which they were actually in the Bible. And I was like, oh, they were living this thing out, right? That's who they were. That's who they were. And I know there are people on this call that can attest to that, right? Hey, Sister Pat. Hi, Pat Hunt. Good to see you here. Oh, and my friend Shamel. Hey, Janetta. Hi. Thank you all for being on. Thank you all. I'm going to light our Kwanzaa Unity candle right now. Let's see. Well, you can see me in the mirror. I'm going to light the candle from here. Umoja. Umoja. It gives you an opportunity to see some of the things on the table. The unity cup. These are the fruits of the harvest. The corn over there. And books are often, for me, a part of my Kwanzaa display. And there's the picture of my mom and dad. Reverend Dr. Hillary and Mother Rosa L. Broaddus. So Kwanzaa, African American holiday. You know, I taught Kwanzaa. We still are doing our Saturday Cultural School. For those of you who may not know, we have been doing it via Zoom for 3 sessions, Pastor, or 2? For 3 sessions. 3 sessions. And we are grateful to 2 young people, Anthony and Jamila Wangu. Anthony, they're like our mini-me's. She is African American and he's Nigerian. He's Igbo like my husband. And he came and helped us with Saturday School when we were live. And now he has picked it up. He and his wife are continuing it. And so we do it via Zoom. So pay attention to our ministry Facebook page and our ministry website, thewayprayer.org. and you'll get more information on our Saturday Cultural School. We'll go again in spring, and we actually have a teacher who is in Nigeria teaching the children Igbo language on Zoom. How amazing is that? Would we have even thought about it if they hadn't been pandemic? There's my brother from another mother. Hey, Harold White, I see you. Oh, that's my friend. Hey, Harold, we grew up together. He actually took me to prom as a friend. I have to look at my husband over there. He's just a friend. All right. So that's Kwanzaa for the day. Kwanzaa, celebration. Yes, it is a celebration of our culture, of our hopes. This has been a rough 2 years, y'all. It's been a rough 2 years. But there's so much hope. I love that Dr. Karenga, when he first started Kwanzaa, I was just listening to a recording. When he first started Kwanzaa, it really was as an alternative to Christmas. And then he realized that there were so many of us that are Christians that are like, no, we want to do both. And he recognized that he needed to honor the various religious practices. And so Kwanzaa, it never was a religious holiday. It is a cultural holiday. And again, as I said at the beginning, it is an African American holiday. Don't mistake it for an African holiday. And actually, this is the 55th year of Kwanzaa. So it's a relatively new holiday, the 55th year. Many of us on the call, Kwanzaa we were alive when Kwanzaa first got started, right? So know that. And I got an opportunity to hear Dr. Karenga. He came here to Fresno State, and he said he never dreamed it would be as big as it is. It's international. People celebrate it all over the world now. So Kwanzaa. So I'm going to end Kwanzaa as official Kwanzaa ceremonies are ended with doing our Harambes. Our Harambes are, let's all pull together. Let's all pull together. Right? Let's all pull together. Hold on. Hey, Valette. Nice to see you. It's kind of interesting that Valette and April on this call. I met Valette through April. I was just talking about that with her daughter the other day. Yes. And my heart goes out to you, Miss Valette. All right? Thinking about you, praying for you. All right? So the Harambes are let's all pull together. And during a Kwanzaa celebration, we do 7 Harambes. Do it with me. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Actually do it with me, okay? So I can feel the Kwanzaa vibes, the Kwanzaa energy, all right? So we're going to do our 7 Harambes. And on the last one, you take a deep breath before you say it and you hold it as long as you can, all right? Those of you who are vocalists, you should be able to really hold it, right? April and Janetta, okay? Here we go. 7 Kwanzaa, 7 Harambes. Ready? Harambe! 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 Where's my water? Thank you so much for joining us. I will post tomorrow another Kwanzaa story. And for sure on the 7th day, I'll go live. We'll see. But I didn't get an opportunity to tell you it's been a challenging couple of weeks for me. And so I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to do this. But you all encouraging me to keep going and to do it is what's gotten me here. So thank you for your text and your calls and your request. See you next time. Have a great Kwanzaa. Thank you. have no idea what you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, the Facebook is off.